Thank you very much, guys. This is Life with Decent Q. It's a pleasure to have you guys here, whoever is watching, whoever is listening. We thank you for taking your time to come over this side on YouTube to have this discussion with us. And I hope you engage with us because this one of today is a very, very engaging discussion. And I want to engage with you guys out here in the comment section. So don't forget to be engaged with us. Today, I wanted to speak about a very serious topic discussion I believe many people are not talking about. And it seems as if the youth of South Africa is being misled when it comes to all of these discussions. The discussion about going to varsity, the discussion about going to university, going to college. They tell you that after you finish high school, after you pass matric, you have to go to varsity, you have to go to college somehow to go and get a degree, to go and get something, a bachelor's degree, a diploma's degree, or further your studies, go and get honors, or maybe get some many belts, But is it true that that type of education is key in South Africa? Where's part in 2025, living in a globalized economy, living in a world whereby everything is all about technology, everything is all on social media? Is it true that all these courses, everybody is running around trying to study courses about commerce, courses about economics, business, administration? Is it true that all these courses, someday they will score you a job? Because it seems as if that going to varsity, going to college, going to university in South Africa in 2025 is the most useless thing you can ever do. And I might be wrong. Of course, you're going to engage with us and tell us what you think. But to me, it seems like it's the most useless thing you can ever do because it wastes your time. First and foremost, you're going to school, you're wasting your time. You don't have time to be looking at other things that are happening in the world. You don't have time to be nurturing your talent. You don't have time to be nurturing your skills, your other skills that don't need you to go and get theory. Majority of these people who are going to school, yeah, you might be book smart, but are you street wise? Are you street smart? You are just book smart, but you are street dumb. You are street dumb, you are street stupid, but you are book smart. You realize quickly, as soon as you graduate, that it didn't matter. All that you were doing in school doesn't matter in the real world. You need to go now and study the streets. Because let me tell you something. I don't care what your parents tell you. I don't care what your advisors when you're about to enroll in varsity tell you. I don't care what people around you tell you and mislead you about varsity. I've went there. I know it. I've done it. I've been there, done that. I've been there, done that. In order to get a job, let me tell you this, and it's a secret. In order to get a job, it doesn't matter if you have a degree, whether you have honors, whether you have PhDs, or you don't have nothing. You just have a matric certificate. What matters is that, do you know people who can put you in? In 2025, it's even worse because unemployment is rising. Unemployment has risen in South Africa. It's so bad. The youth of South Africa, they are in it for a shock after they graduate because they're going to realize that all of these things they've been promised, going to varsity, going to study in school, and then one day hopefully you get a job, and one day you get a job of the course you did in varsity, is just all a lie. It's just all a lie. That whole narrative was built on a lie. There's no ways you're gonna get a job of the course you've been studying in school. Worst part, if you're studying courses around commerce. Worst part, even if you're studying these new courses of science, technology, this of technological science, software development, there's no one who's gonna hire you because there's no jobs to hire you. Let me tell you something, as a young man who is living in a real world, who's seeing things for what they are, as a young man who has graduated and with other people who saw other people graduate in front of me, let me tell you something. Majority of those people bayazazi amachita wami, bayazazi abohloni, bayazazi abomavundla, bayazazi abo men, bayazazi bonke abantu engifunde nabo that all the jobs they are working today doesn't relate anything with the courses we were doing in varsity. They will tell you nginamanga ma chance. hlonikawo wena uyazi uspana uspana ngezinto mfana esibhekene ne-future yethu, you know, things like ama-generator, ama-UPS. You are looking at the future, bruh. But is it something we studied in school, bro? It's not. Mavundla, Pesto Man, you guys are working with the future brands that deal with Makvayo case. You guys are there for us. Nishaya isn't bra people can't even think about. But is that related to Lento Messi's Funde scale about faith, to be honest? It's not. It's not. Tina's funde inyinto, but in real life, we are faced with a different situation. We are faced with a world that doesn't care about you. Let me tell you something. The world doesn't owe you anything. In South Africa, it's even worse. The world doesn't owe you a job. The government of South Africa doesn't owe you a job. There's nobody that owes you a job. Majority of these companies, these jobs you are crying so bad to enter into, these jobs are not owned by the government of South Africa. These jobs are owned by white people, Jewish people, Indian people, owned by majority foreigners. These majority businesses, people are working in my mall, going to retail, doing sales, going in my factory, in my warehouses, trying to pack things. Those places, basebenzela abantu abangasebayi, and majority of them mozokutshela bangene ngamakhona bra, bangene ngamakhona khona umuntu obafakile. They knew someone who knew something, who knew someone to put them somewhere. That's what happened. They didn't just enter, submitted a CV. No, you're still submitting a CV in 2025 thinking that you're gonna get a job. Do you know how many people are submitting CVs with you? And amongst those thousands and thousands of people submitting the same CVs with you, maybe 5 of them. One of them knows the woman who works there at HR. Another one knows the security guard. Another one knows the boss, the real boss, the CEO. Another one knows the CFO. Another one knows the cleaner there. You don't know anyone, you don't know anything. You're just submitting your things online. What makes you think you have a high probability of getting that job compared to that person who's in close proximity with those people who already work there? You don't stand a job. You don't stand a chance to get the job, and nobody owes you that job. Noma ungakhala uzophuma inyembezi ukhale ukuthi yo izinto esihlangane nginamabhadi awunamabhadi. There's no jobs, ziyakhala kuyanyiwa. You need to think differently. Akunabhadi, akuna next. There's no jobs. Let me tell you, there's no jobs. Ungamangali, you're not getting a job. You're sitting there every day, you're submitting online and there's no replies, there's nothing. You have submitted more than 50 CVs. About busy, they're not calling you. Awunamabhadi. It's not your ancestors deserting you. It's because there's no jobs. There's no jobs. And all that nonsense they told you, go to Varsity, go and study so you can get a better chance of studying. Do you know how many of my friends are working proper jobs where they even get cars from the companies they work at? For free. They get them because they are working there, they have experience. Nina, you are going to Varsity thinking that you're going to have a better chance compared to my friend who went straight from matric to go to the workplace because konumuntu mfagile. Now when you graduate, 4 years later, 3 years later, he's already having 3 years experience. There's no ways you are going to get hired better than him. He has the experience. You just have a degree. Your degree can't buy you the job, my man. Your degree can't buy you the car. Let's be honest. Who has bought a car with a degree paper? Who has bought a house with a degree paper? Who has a degree gotten someone somewhere? Yes, there's a select few people who get opportunities based on the things they studied. But how many are still chilling in Makoneni, having a hopeless life, having a hopeless future, not knowing where to go here in South Africa, with their degrees, with their papers, with all the papers, everything they have? How many people are sitting back now, unemployed, sitting back now with less opportunities in front of them? How many people are faced with the reality of being an unemployed graduate? How many? It's plenty of them. It's plenty of them. And those who get jobs after matric, you are likely to get the job. But how many of you guys are being paid peanuts where you work? All that work, all that energy, all that sweat you put in studying in Varsity. Some of you didn't even get funding from bursaries or or government like our NSFAS. Some of you took your parents' money, all that money to go to varsity, buying you clothes so you can look cool in varsity, buying you food so you can eat lunch in varsity, having everything, paying for your tickets, paying for your nice time so you can even attend the freshers and all the parties in varsity, buying alcohol in varsity, impressing girls, buying the nice phones. All of that energy invested in going to varsity only for you to get a job. Then bakupatale 4,000, bakupatale 4.5, bakupatale 6,000. Book smart, but street dumb. You can be book smart, but you never outsmart someone who's street wise. It doesn't matter how much book smart you are. You can never outshine a man who is street wise. It doesn't matter how much you think you know, how much distinctions you got. You will never outshine a man who has mastered the street, who has mastered hustling. You will never outshine that person because he is street smart. His smart is based on reality. Your smart is based on a paper. You're smart on the paper. It's fine. You can be smart on a paper. Are you smart practically in reality? Do you know things? Do you know people? Do you know places to go where you can contact the right people to put you somewhere for you to talk with the right people? Do you know that? Do you have a network? Do you have people who know something? Do you know someone where you can go and then you just get whatever you want? Ganjalo, anytime, any help, proper help. Do you know? Do you have a clientele of people who can get you jobs for 3 of your friends now, anytime? You don't have, but you're book smart. And there's people who are street smart and they can outshine you, decimate you anytime. But it is what it is. I hope you guys engage with me. You can tell me what you think. But we're living in South Africa. Things are getting worse for students and many people don't want to admit it. And if nobody's going to admit this, I'm going to be the first one to admit it. But it is what it is. We thank you very much. I hope you guys continue watching. More content is coming on the channel. And I just hope you guys subscribe, man. We want to see the channel grow. I hope you guys subscribe. But it is what it is. We thank you very much.